The sun bleeds through the high canopy, painting the forest floor in stripes of light and shadow. Kyle, the alpha male, is not climbing, he is digging. His arms are short, but his legs are strong, supporting his hunched, thick frame as he uses a weathered, sharp stone, not yet a true tool, to gouge at the hard earth near the roots of a strangler fig. The troop, a dozen small, hairy forms, works with frantic, low-level urgency. The females, their hips already subtly adjusted for the upright walk, collect tubers and fallen nuts, stuffing them into cheek pouches and rough pouches of woven leaves. The dry season is deep, and the few remaining resources are becoming buried or hidden. Survival is now measured in calories gained versus energy spent. They are 5 hours from the river grove, their safe sanctuary. Mara, one of the primary foragers, rises suddenly, her body snapping upright with the involuntary alertness of a creature on the verge of becoming prey. She looks not at the ground, but upward and outward. The forest silence is too clean. The cicadas are gone. Kyle stops digging, freezing with his small, crude stone raised. The hominids drop their scavenged food and huddle, their eyes huge and black, reflecting the deep shadows of the woods. The shift in air pressure is the first warning, a massive body moving through the underbrush. The ambush and the bipedal flight. A shape explodes from the thicket 20 yards away. It is not the saber-toothed cat they fear, but something heavier, faster in the close quarters, a dinofelis, a false saber-tooth, tawny and low-slung, with a crushing bite and immense power. The troop scatters in a wild screech of panic. Their first instinct is the trees. Several females and juveniles scramble up the nearest fig, their short arms pulling them expertly into the high branches. But Kyle, Mara, and 3 sub-adult males are caught in the open. The path to the nearest safe tree cluster is blocked by the predator. They must run. Kyle shoves Mara ahead. This is the great evolutionary trial, the bipedal sprint. It is clumsy, inefficient, a series of desperate lurches, but it lifts their eyes above the low brush. They can see the edge of the forest, the open savanna beyond, offering visibility, a chance to outwit, if not outrun, the cat. The dinofelis does not chase the climbers. It commits to the ground runners. It closes the gap on the slowest sub-adult male, pinning him with a powerful paw. The male's short, sharp cry is cut short, a brutal lesson in the cost of descent. Kyle and Mara do not look back. They burst from the dark woodland into the glare of the golden savanna, the forest now a terrifying, dark wall behind them. Twist 1, the open ground trap. They run for their lives across the gaping expanse. The open ground, their only means of escape, visibility, quickly becomes a trap. The predator stops at the tree line. Kyle glances back, expecting the chase, but the dinofelis simply sits, watching them, its tail twitching. The cat knows this terrain better than they do. Kyle's gut churns with sudden cold dread. He stops, panting, and looks around. The savanna is empty, save for the heat haze, but the danger is not in front of them. It is surrounding them. Mara points low to the ground. A track. Another track. They are not alone. The cat at the tree line was the lure. The true threat emerges from the high, dry grass. 2 smaller, faster predators. 2 hyenodons, immense dog-like carnivores of the epoch, built for the chase and the pack kill. They rise from the golden camouflage, their huge jaws wide, their eyes gleaming with cold, calculated hunger. The hominids are now caught in a pincer movement. The forest is sealed off by the ambush cat. The savanna is a hunting ground for the pursuit dogs. Kyle signals frantically, swinging his body to indicate the only possible path, a jagged, low line of black volcanic rock jutting up from the savanna floor 20 yards to their right. It is a desperate, exposed sprint, but the rocks offer height and a defense. A climactic stand. They reach the outcrop, scrambling onto the uneven, sharp surfaces. The air on the rock is hot, but the height is everything. The hyanodons immediately begin to circle the base, their movements tireless and methodical. They do not charge, they wait for exhaustion or mistake. The ambush is complete. Kael sees a solution: rocks, not just the rock they stand on, but the loose, heavy cobbles scattered nearby. He grabs two, handing one to the young male, Rumi. They begin to throw. Their aim is poor, the stones clatter harmlessly into the dirt, but the action is unprecedented. The use of projectiles to deter a major carnivore. It buys them space and time. Suddenly, Rumi screams. In his panic, he misjudged the distance, and the edge of the rock gave way beneath him. He slides down, landing with a sickening thud at the base of the outcrop, stunned and exposed. Mara acts instantly. She does not throw a stone. She leaps down after him. The hyanodons surge forward, sensing the kill. Kael is frozen, horrified, clutching his last heavy stone. Mara does not fight the dogs. She uses her knowledge, her ancestral pharmacy. Earlier, she had collected a handful of bitter, acrid leaves known to repel biting insects. As the first hyanodon lunges, she shoves the handful of crushed, intensely pungent leaves directly into its face. The effect is not fatal, but debilitating. The carnivore shrieks, shaking its massive head violently, its sensitive olfactory organs overwhelmed by the unexpected chemical assault. This gives Kael the final, brutal opening. He lifts his heavy stone above his head, the weight pulling his torso straight, the perfect bipedal posture for maximizing force, and brings it crashing down on the exposed shoulder of the momentarily blinded predator. The blow is massive. The hyanodon collapses, stunned. Mara seizes the moment, dragging the injured Rumi back toward the rock face. The second hyanodon, confused by the fall of its partner, retreats a few yards, issuing a warning snarl. It looks back at the distant dino fellows, still waiting patiently at the tree line. The cost of this meal had suddenly exceeded the reward. With a final disgusted look at the bloody, smelly leaves, the second dog retreats after its partner. Unity in the aftermath. The sun begins to drop, casting long, peaceful shadows back across the savannah. Kael hauls Rumi onto the highest rock. His leg is twisted, broken. The wound on his shoulder from the fall is deep. He whimpers, a sound of deep physical pain. Mara ignores the blood and the stench of the hyanodon. She examines the fracture. Then she gathers long, tough strands of dry grass and thin strips of bark she carried for basket weaving. With Kael holding Rumi steady, she painstakingly splits the injured limb, binding the injured limb firmly to a straight, strong branch using the woven materials. It is crude but effective, a rudimentary act of medicine and engineering. They wait until the last light fades, until the savannah is a soft, deep velvet of black and silver under the emerging stars. Kael takes a piece of scavenged tuber, the very food that started the day's peril, and breaks it. He chews it and passes the softened paste to the injured Rumi. The remaining troop, high in the fig trees of the forest edge, begins to issue soft, nervous calls, recognizing the shift in atmospheric tension. Mara responds with a low, complex call, a signal of survival, of safe return. One by one, the shadows of the forest begin to move. The troop descends, moving cautiously into the open. They approach the rock, not running, but walking with a slow, disciplined purpose. They spend the night huddled on the outcrop, the entire group a single breathing organism of warmth and protection. Rumi sleeps, his pain dulled by exhaustion and the protection of the group. Kael sits, holding his stone weapon, watching the horizon. This night, they did not just survive predation,
They mastered it. They used speed, strategy, technology, the stone and the leaves, and most critically, care. The injured one was not abandoned. The lineage moves forward, defined by the things they carried, not just food, but knowledge and compassion. The journey to the river grove would begin at dawn, carried not only by the strong, but by the will of the group to carry the weak.